Now, the card on the bottom of the deck that we have is the Three of Pumpkins in the reverse. In the upright, the Three of Pumpkins is about mastery of a craft. It's about successful working with someone. So, kind of collaboration, cooperation at work, bringing on, three people or more to produce a product, right? In the reverse, it can have to do with a lack of cooperation or collaboration in a material setting. So, for example, it can indicate maybe struggles at home with regards bills, rent, payments, and so on. Maybe you and your partner aren't working together as well as you could be. There may be some energy with that. It could be that you're struggling to get along with your boss at work. If you are the boss, you could be having difficulties with some of your staff. So there could be some issues like that that are going on for you. Just kind of depends. Again, take it as it resonates, right? Now, up here we have the Queen of Imps. And Imps is the fire suit in this deck. You'll notice that she looks a lot like the traditional Queen of Wands in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. Fire is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. So it could be that you got somebody like that on your mind. You're thinking about them right now. I shouldn't say right now, because this card actually has to do with your past, right? Or it could be in the now and slipping into the past. If this card represents you, even though you're a water sign and Imps is fire, it could be that something that was really important to you at the time was to be. You were thinking about something that you wanted to manifest. You were thinking about mastery of that. Like you had something that you felt passionate about and you wanted to be able to manifest it into physical existence. Example, in a business sense would be maybe you had a business idea and you wanted to take it to the next level and start up a company, a business, a website, an Etsy website or Etsy product or whatever the case may be. If you're thinking romantically, it could be that you were attracted to an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius person. Doesn't have to be the same sex as the card would indicate. Could just be somebody in that kind of energy, right? Every person has both anima and animus, or masculine and feminine characteristics within them. But some of you Pisces may have been thinking about an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius woman or person, just generally speaking, right? Now, this is kind of the basis of your situation here, and I sort of want to jump into that. This Knight of Bats right here. Actually, give me a moment on that card. Let me return to it. I'm going to pull these up. Okay, so we discussed the Queen of Imps here. Next is the Seven of Pumpkins. Seven of Pumpkins is about waiting for your harvest to come in. Like you've done the work, you've planted the seeds, you've weeded the bed, you've cultivated. I mean, I'm not going in the right order, but you get what I'm saying. Like you're tending to your garden and you're watching it grow and you're waiting for your crop to ripen, right? This is because you've been thinking about, you've been manifesting something. You've been trying to manifest and now you're waiting for it to come in. Now, this Page of Bats here could indicate somebody who's spying. It could be information, messaging coming in, text messaging, email, phone call. It could be anything like that that's coming in. But Bats is the suit of air and has to do with a new idea. So you may be off and running. Like if this had to do with you starting something, waiting for it to happen, while you're waiting, you may have ideas for other things that you want to come in. Or this could be an air sign, like a child or somebody who you relate to as they're a younger person, maybe a younger generation than you, like a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius person. But, again, take it as it resonates. If you've been thinking about somebody, possibly you were involved with a fire sign, she's pregnant, and this is the child that you have who's an air sign, or that you're going to be having. So it could be something like that for some of you. So again, take it as it resonates, right? We also have this Queen of Ghosts here, which could possibly be you because Ghosts is the water sign here. That is the Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces person. Somebody loving, could be a wife or a mother, a spouse. Again, doesn't have to be strictly female, but it's somebody who is comfortable in her own emotions, can express herself emotionally, all of that, right? And Taken with this Queen of Imps, for some of you, it could be that there was a situation, maybe you were involved with one, but yet you were attracted or drawn towards the other one, and you're trying to figure out where to go with that situation, right? This Knight of Bats here is very fast moving air sign energy. We see yet another air sign here. That's going to be your Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius person. And this is kind of going to be the basis of the matter. So some fast moving information comes in. For some of you, it could be that this fire sign came in with some kind of a declaration of truth. Maybe she was telling you that she was attracted to you, interested in you, something like that, right? Or it could be, again, with the business idea, you had something that you really wanted to do, but for some reason, it feels more like a relationship that's coming in here. Somebody was with one person, but yet they're really interested in or attracted to another person. And it all seemed to happen kind of fast and maybe even took some of you by surprise. So here we have someone who's waiting, but we have someone, Temperance in reverse, we have someone who is not very comfortable with waiting. Temperance is peaceful waiting. In the reverse, Temperance can also be Sagittarius. So again, we've got another fire sign coming in here. But this Temperance being in the reverse, that might indicate that you're having problems with that person. Again, if it was the case that you had some sort of romantic interest in a Sagittarius or fire sign person, and they became pregnant, and it was not a good wait. That's not something that you wanted to be waiting on. Maybe not having a child, something like that. But there are a lot of cards in here that kind of tell me or suggest to me anyway for some people, maybe about a pregnancy, whether you want it or not. Then again, this could indicate morning sickness. Like if you look at the potions that are bubbling over, she's pouring something from one vessel into another around the stomach area. We've got this rabbit here. We've got the cauldron is boiling over. It could be the case that she's feeling kind of nauseated. So maybe there's some, issue with morning sickness and all of that. So, but note the farmer over here looks quite peaceful. I mean, he's planted all these seeds. He's feeling great. She feels less so, right? Now, kind of carrying along with that, in the center here, we have this Eight of Ghosts, which is about moving on from a situation. But in your case, it's reversed. So for some of you, you want to leave a situation, but yet you don't feel comfortable doing that. You don't want to leave a situation just yet. Maybe you don't feel 100% confident. Maybe you're very uncomfortable in waiting to figure out whether or not you should move on or should not move on or should stick around. If you were stepping outside of your relationship and someone is pregnant, and you're waiting for that, it could be that you're waiting for your right time to tell your current partner that your girlfriend on the side is pregnant. Or, something along those lines, like for whatever reason, you're not quite ready to leave your current situation. Now we have this Page of Bats, this youth, could be spying energy, communication of an idea coming in. Again, when we saw that row of cards, could be about waiting for a pregnancy, that kind of thing. This Four of Pumpkins is about planting seeds, again, with the pregnancy type theme for some of you. So if you're not interested in having a child, double up on the birth control. Prayer is not really a good birth control form, okay? So we have a loving person, the Queen of Ghosts, who could be that Pisces, who's thinking, I need to leave a certain situation, and yet there's some seed planting that's going to come here. So, again, if you are thinking that you need to leave a situation, but now you can't, if you're feeling trapped or stuck, you may need to seek some advice or some counsel on that. See a therapist or somebody that can help you clarify what it is that you want in that relationship. Even this Three of Pumpkins. I want to turn back to this for a minute because I just saw it when I was putting those cards back. This Three of Pumpkins, again, 2 become 3 with the pregnancy, right? But in the reverse, and even in the window, it reminds me of kind of like in the reverse, we see it here, the womb, the fallopian tubes. I mean, you really kind of have to use your imagination for that one, but it's in the reverse, right? So again, it may not be something that you were completely wanting to have happen at this time. And then here Moving forward, and this will be a basis, the Six of Imps, but in the reverse. In the upright, it's about victory, triumph, success. In the reverse, it's about not. It's about not having victory, not having success, right? This is the opposite of victory or success. So again, this is something that's kind of set you back on your heels, and you may not be wanting this situation. So you're going to have to do some deep soul searching, especially if for some of you, it may have been the case that you really did want to leave the current situation, but you're pregnant with somebody else's kid and you don't want to leave now. Or it could be, some kind of twist on that where you're not feeling good about it, or your primary relationship. Maybe there's nobody else, but for whatever reason, you were thinking you wanted to move on, and now you feel like you're stuck, or you have to wait because you have to make your decision about what you're going to do. Do you want to leave? Do you want to stay? Whatever the case may be, right? Sorry, let me get the book open to the right spot. I'll hold up your card for you. Okay, Desert Passage. Trust that there's a divine plan. Even if it seems that life has areas of barrenness, well, that's a weird word, barrenness, beneath the surface, life is transforming in accordance with your highest good. Trust that you are guided, even if it doesn't always seem like it. There are spiritual guides, allies, and angels surrounding you. Listen with your heart. Act on your instincts. Believe that the messages you are being given are in your highest good. Get down to basics. Trust what you feel. The sacred traveler wants you to know the desert path can seem like a vast wasteland, yet it is in the isolation that immense insights and intuition can emerge. In times of old, sages and visionaries retreated into the desert to connect more deeply with spirit. If, in the past, you trusted your instincts and then later it seemed to be a mistake, don't let that keep you from trusting your intuition now. Often those things that we thought were mistakes in the past, in hindsight, were the best things possible for us. As you open to your intuition, you will sense messages from and the loving presence of your spirit guides and ancestors. There is a potent plan for your life. Trust. Beautiful words, Pisces. Beautiful words.